So, continuing on with my BG's showcase videos, we move on to my rank 4 Vox. A lot of you have been asking for rank 4 Vox gameplay, and I'm going to hopefully be providing a lot of that pretty soon, starting with this nice BG showcase here, and then an ultimate showcase coming pretty shortly after, I hope. But yeah, we're going to fight this Red Skull first. I always like to describe Vox as a cosmic champ who is good for virtually every single game mode, with BG's being the one exception. BG's he is still good for. I run him in all my decks. I ran him in all my decks when he was still rank 3. And he is still a pretty strong champ for BG's. He's just not one of the best cosmics for BG's. He is one of the best cosmics ever for most other pieces of content, like Alliance War, pretty much most forms of endgame content. He is just so strong, and the permanent undermine or permanent vigilance is just incredibly strong piece of utility. But once you get Vox to rank 4, which is what I have now, he becomes an actual BG's demon. He's so good for so many matchups, because Vox is one of the characters in the game who punches down super well. And that's something that once you get a champion at rank 4 for Shocker, that's going to be something that's going to be very common, that you're going to be punching down a lot. So Vox, he feels very different from being in equal ranks and then fighting with a rank ahead when you're playing him for BGs. Because once you fight with an extra rank, you're going to be killing basically everything in one degen cycle. And that's, if you can kill everything in one degen cycle, you're doing the fights very fast. So, anyway, we're going to fight this Deathless Thanos next. And this Thanos is rank 4, so we are doing equal ranks here. But Vox is actually maybe my favorite non-mystic Deathless Thanos counter, because he is just very consistent for this fight. You just place the big degens, and all you have to do is watch the counterpunch charges, and then just let the degens do the work during Thanos' special attacks, because a lot of a fight versus Thanos is going to be during his special animations, because he's spamming his specials so much. And the fact that we're in a meta where he's going to be getting energized, even more energized, is going to make that even more of a thing. So I did make this fight a little bit longer than it needed to be. I should have dropped my SP1 a lot earlier. I did have an opportunity when he wouldn't have gained a counterpunch to go for it, but I decided not to, and I just messed it up. So I think this fight should be like 70 seconds, but 78 is not bad either. Again, for a non-mystic versus Deathless Thanos, says absolutely not too shabby. So now we're going to go fight Sentinel. I love Vox for Sentinel. I do this fight in War all the time, this matchup, using Vox for Sentinel. And yeah, BG is absolutely no exception, because the thing you want to do against Sentinel is use a red numbers champ. Problem with that is, he's immune to a lot of different damage over time debuffs. And he also reduces the potency of instant burst damage. So degen damage is one of his big weaknesses, degen and shock, which is why Beta Ray Bill and Vox are some of the best Sentinel counters. So anyway, yeah, we just placed the initial set of degens, and we'll play super aggressive with them, because then we're going to increase the potency due to Vox's sig ability, and then just blast through his armor phase like it's nothing, and Sentinel goes down in 44 seconds. So pretty cool. Now we're gonna go fight future AntMan. This is a rank 3. I don't know why I didn't get the rank at the beginning of the fight, but yeah, so gonna try to dex a special 1 if we can, and gain some dex buffs, which are just gonna be more degens, and then get a nice little opening there. And we just do some combos. I can't parry this meta because of Stun Reflect, unfortunately, so that makes the fights a little bit more annoying, but it's perfectly fine. And we're doing so much damage now. The 19 degens are going to be enough to kill this guy for sure. And if he starts glancing, it's like, oh no. Anyway, we have a bunch of degens anyway, so they don't really care if there's glancing, right? So we kill him in 45 seconds. Now we're going to fight Photon. Photon is obviously a pretty hard defender, even for Vox. But Vox is able to handle this fight pretty well. And if you can go for your special 2 Vigilance, that's going to help you out in this fight sometimes as well. Problem with that is that the reason that Vigilance is good against Photon is so you can parry her, but we can't parry her in this matchup anyway. So, in this meta, I mean, anyway. So, it doesn't really do us any good to be able to parry, to get the vigilance, because we're never triggering untouchable if we're never parrying her, right? But she gives you the opportunity to get a lot of dex buffs, which is awesome, because that's just free degens. Fighting champions with special animations with a lot of projectiles in it is super, super great for Vox, because it allows them to get those extra degens from the dex buff. So I'm just going to go for my special 1 here, and then Photon's actually going to be left at 1%, which is like, oh, okay, that's annoying. And then I take a little bit of block damage at the end, so could have been a bit cleaner, but not too shabby if I do say so myself. And now we're going to go fight Arcade. This is Vox's tailor-made matchup. He is the best Arcade counter in the game, and he really proves that just because Arcade's biggest weakness is Undermine. He is coded with the RPG mechanic to where Undermine is what you're supposed to use to make him not a threat. And Vox has the best Undermine in the game, because all you do is drop a special 1, permanent Undermine for the rest of the fight if you keep using your special 1s. So, anyway, we're just gonna Dex Arcade special attack there, get some more Dex buffs, which again, like I said earlier, is just super, super helpful. And I'm gonna pause them there with the Sig ability. And then we're gonna go in, Dex the special, and then keep comboing him, increase the potency of our degens. And then he's gonna die right there. And that was a pretty fast Arcade takedown with full health. Now I'm gonna fight Maestro. I like Vox for Maestro a good bit. Vox's corrupted buffs have 300% ability accuracy, meaning Neutralize isn't going to stop them, and also Glancing isn't going to stop them. So you can ramp up Vox while fighting Maestro, even when his Glance is going to normally shut off a lot of characters who ramp up on basics. And then, of course, Maestro can't glance special attacks, so placing the degens is no problem either. The only thing that the glancing is going to be annoying for is, as you saw there, when we trigger the Dexterity Mastery, we're going to get the yellow buff, but it's not going to turn into one with a duration, so it's never actually expiring, and Vox is not going to place that into a corrupted buff. So that's just a dexterity issue. That's just the way dexterity works, unfortunately, is it is going to be subject to glancing for some reason. But it just makes this fight a little bit more annoying. We can deal with it. And then Maestro drops a special attack there. We're still doing a crap ton of degen damage, and he's just gonna die right there. So pretty solid fight. 63 seconds, and then we move on to go fight Guardian. And this is another good example of the Undermine. And also Guardian is extremely tanky, kind of like Sentinel, where there's a lot of things you can't do for damage against Guardian. You do want to have very hard access to red numbers, and Vox has that in spades. So we're going to bait a special 1 here. He drops it. Plenty of dex buffs. Absolutely love to get those projectile special attacks. And then we play 17 degens on him, and that's going to absolutely be enough. So pause them for a second there, and now I just want to play super aggressive, which I'm doing. And then the degens are going to completely rip him apart, and he goes down in 36 seconds. Okay, next up we're going to fight Nick Fury. There's a way that this matchup can go like a lot better than it does in here, and it happened to me once. I wasn't recording it, unfortunately, but you can time your degens to where your special 1 kills Nick, and then you place the degens on the final hit, and then with Despair you just like cancel out his second life healing. It's really funny. It's a really nice strategy if you can time it right, but timing it's a little bit hard. So we're going to get a good bit of dex buffs on his special 1, of course, and then we're going to eat an unblockable special 1, of course, because he was really trigger happy with it. But yeah, I didn't really try to anti-bait it, so I guess I should have just expected that to happen. Anyway, I'm going to go for a special 1 here. And then basically how I want to time it is consume the degens back when he's at like 20% or maybe a little bit more, so that I can drop my next special 1, which is going to hopefully push him into second life. Hopefully. Because yeah, there's a lot of timing that has to go well for this matchup, and a lot of timing that is not always the most ideal or common thing to be able to do. So yeah, there I did mess it up. I didn't do it correctly, where we basically couldn't cancel out the second life. But his second life's also going to last like barely 10 seconds because of how hard these degens are ticking. So anyway, it wasn't that bad after all. 76 seconds, eating 2 unblockable special ones. It's about as bad as that could have gone, and it's still not that bad for using a non-mutant versus Nick. It's not the worst thing ever. So especially when Nick is having his renaissance as a 7-star defender and such. So now we're going to fight Iron Man Infinity War, very generic defender, and Warlock, very generic tech defender. I think those are the last 2 fights this video, saving some bit more uninteresting ones for the end. And yeah, Vox is going to do a great job for this, other than me just screwing up because I'm bad. But we get the Undermine up. What does the Undermine do? It means he can't auto-block. So once I push this guy to his final threshold, we're just going to kill him. Never mind, we're going to leave him at 1%. That's what I meant. And we're going to kill him right here instead. So it was a little annoying, but anyway, he goes down. And then lastly is Warlock, and he's good for Warlock obviously because he has a bunch of unique buffs, so you're basically never getting the infection on you. Most Cosmics do this kind of thing now, so it's just a generic fight, but anyway, that's the arcade, I'm so dumb, I'm sorry. That's the Vox showcase, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to get a more general one later, where we take him into BGs. I'm going to show him in BGs still, but also a bunch of other pieces of content, and really hopefully show you how Vox truly is one of the best Cosmics for so many game modes. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.